Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have something a little bit on the different side when it comes to Nintendo. Now, when it comes to me, I like to cover up all the console news and general gaming news, but this one I think is actually worth mentioning pretty heavily. We've had some really massive Nintendo leaks coming out here into like what's going to be happening in the very near future, and I would actually say this is pretty big. It's been spreading its way around the internet. We've been seeing everyone talking about it, and as well, kind of ties in really well with the Nintendo Switch and future games coming out. So this is all regards to like basically a lot of old school games that have now been essentially leaked. We've had them leaked by like 4chan and other various things. People are like spreading out the information pretty much everywhere, and at the end of the day, this is actually something I myself am going to probably pick up my Switch and reutilize because it's kind of nice to go and see. So we have a lot of stuff to go talk about over here, quite a few different pictures and proof to go show you guys too as well, and also hope you guys just enjoy a little bit of the outside of the norm instead of like restock or PlayStation news, because sometimes like other consoles have some cool stuff as well. And on top of that, if any of you guys want to go and subscribe with the notifications on, you're super welcome too. We have the Amazon links down below for the PS5 Digital Console controller, Twitter and Twitch stream as well, link down below, and sign up for that Weeble, sign up for that Coinbase, and all the general stuff down below. And let's get into the snazzy dazzy news. So for this, we actually have a brand new Nintendo Game Boy Advance emulator for the Nintendo Switch Online has now been seemingly leaked as of right now. They have a lot of data miners that had a chance to go and kind of just, well, data mine the information and go and showcase up there too, and there's a lot of different test games, a lot of different cool features, and I kind of want to go and showcase and highlight up a lot of this stuff for this. So as you guys know, when it comes to Nintendo Switch Online, they keep on wanting to add more extra additional benefits when it comes to games and other features and things you guys can actually go and utilize. And we actually might finally be now seeing another big beef up onto it, because we actually can go and see all these old school games and old school style games finally being able to be emulated and basically utilized, bought, played, etc. on your Nintendo Switch, which I think a lot of you guys can probably agree with me. It's very overdue. Like, this should have been, this probably should have had like the Wii U in all honesty back in the day. So for right now, a lot of this stuff has apparently been leaking online. I guess I'll show you guys some pictures in a second, and it's a pretty long list of games, which number one makes me excited. Like, we're seeing stuff like Mario Kart, we're seeing stuff like Golden Sun, which if any of you guys leave a comment down below and tell me you guys ever played Golden Sun back in the day, probably one of my favorite RPG games of all time, and I had basically both of them. I'm actually not sure if there's more than one, but I do remember playing and being both two of them, and also other various games like, Pokemon games like Pokemon Pinball, Ruby and Sapphire, and a lot of stuff has actually been all tested on over here too as well. Now initially, I think the big person who had the big publicity with it, although I think it was originally shown up on 4chan, was over from Trash Bandicoot over here up on Twitter. That's a chance to go and show that the Nintendo official Game Boy Advance emulator for the Nintendo Switch was just officially leaked. Now we just have to wait for them to necessarily add it in the first place. So I'm going to kind of go through these pictures a little bit over here, because like I said, I believed it originally come from 4chan, where you guys can just see a massive list of these games, and they are actually able to be basically rocked out. They're able to go utilize, be made in the first place. So you see like Ninja 5, Pokemon Pinball, Ruby and Sapphire, Super Robot Tensin, Tactus Ogre, Mario Kart, Single Pack Receive, I don't know what that is, Pokemon Trade, Crew, Golden Sun, as you guys can see over here as we're talking about, and just a lot of stuff. Like, here's some Mario Bros over here, here's some other various games too, and there's just so much stuff tied in. There's also some other things too as well. You can see like suspend points, input replay turbo, save datas as well, export state to flashcards, just a lot of the internals mixed on in, like lens flares, anti-aliasing effects, gamma, like just basically a lot of these little small changes all tied on in with this is actually kind of coming on out, which is lovely to see. And here's actually like proper like things that people utilize in the emulation for it inside the Switch. Now I just want to remind you guys it actually has been possible for quite some time if you use other things, say as like Dolphin emulators or other various things tied out. So it's very intriguing to see, first and foremost. But one of the bigger things I think I would want to go and bring out to attention over here is just in the fact that like we're seeing all this stuff. We're seeing like the Trash Bandicoot guy over here bringing up all this stuff too on top of this. It's just crazy to go and see in a haul all of this stuff. Like, we're actually seeing like literal screenshots of the games themselves tied on in. So this maybe is Yoshi's Island, perhaps from way back in the day. You also see the little various leaks too as well. You guys can see like just stuff on top of here. You're seeing the emulation files and everything tied on in with it. This is very cool to see, like even the old school Mario games and everything else too tied on in. So basically, you have also been seeing other accounts too such as Ratgorl Hunter, went further and even started tweeting out actual camera footage of this too as well, as you guys are kind of a chance to go and see all these initial leaks on top of this. So it's very, very intriguing to go and see. Although apparently whenever it comes to some of those leaks throughout there, apparently some of them actually get removed and they actually have a chance to go show on up. And I'm not 100% sure if this is probably the best thing to go and showcase on it, but it does seem like you guys can kind of go and see all these massive big leaks. You can see the library of GBA Games they've tested for this thing is massive. And this is kind of a big thing to kind of note too, because it comes more on the tested is the key word, as you guys can see from that. Which also does go and show, and I could agree on that, doesn't actually mean they're all launched up in the Surface itself. Yellow equals, at least for the case of this one, in the ROM folder at some point, but not in the leaked build. So there's one other games with evidence of being tested though too as well. So kind of cool to see. We're seeing all the stuff over here. We're seeing like some games like Astro Boy on the list itself. And once again, this is not 100%, even as like the tweeter itself said, and everyone else was mentioned too as well, but just kind of nifty to go and see all the overall list of what we're seeing. Astro Boy, Car Battle Joe, Castlevania, which I think would be very cool to play, and all this is on the Switch. And that's why I think it's a little bit on the extra special side, because at the end of the day, like, you can technically emulate most of this stuff online. Like, you could probably find it pretty easily. But the fact that we're actually seeing this now built into the actual processor itself, that's some huge and cool news. I do love seeing that, just in the general sense. So we're seeing stuff too as well, such as like Castlevania, we're seeing Drill Dozer, Fire Emblem, F-Zero, Golden Sun, Harvest Moon, Kingdom Hearts, Kirby Amazing Mirror, Korokoro, Lufia, Mario Golf, Mario Tennis, Mario Party, Mario vs. Donkey Kong, Mega Man Battle Network, which these actually, I don't know if you guys ever played those games back in the day. Those are probably some of my favorite games to play. Like, I love them. I love seeing them all mixed on in. We're seeing Mega Man, you know, over there. We're seeing Mega Man Zero, Metroid Fusion, Metroid Zero Mission, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Pokemon Pinball, Super Mario Bros., Super all that, Wario Land, Warrior War, Yoshi's Island, Zelda Minish Cap, and just everyone's seen all this stuff too as well with all these other things. There are multiple screenshots of different berry tags as well, screened from Pokemon, Ruby, Sapphire, and all this other stuff too as well, also for this link cable emulation testing too on top of this. So they also have other things like such as well, like basically you guys can see when it comes to this stuff, like the build for Hikayo they have over there was an earlier stage. They have Super Mario Land, Link's Awakening, Tetris, Quicks, too as well. And like a lot of these games are games that I remember playing. Maybe it's like kind of it's the nostalgia factor, slightly different, but this is actually kind of big, I'd say, for the Switch. I would say this is a huge update, especially for the online. This is actually a huge update just in the general sense in terms of more options and games to play, as well as also a better value, you know, for Nintendo Online or also purchasability. And it's just really cool to see this, like really cool. Because as I mentioned before, a lot of these things should have been mentioned forever ago. Like a lot of these things should have been brought up and like been on the Wii U like multiple years ago. And the fact that it's not for whatever reason is kind of almost somewhat disappointing. Like because this is just like the biggest, easiest market ever to go be on top of, because you could literally go and sell all of your old IPs and old games that you already have the files for. And a lot of these already are available online. Like a lot of these ROMs are already actively, easily available online. And now of course it's illegal to utilize ROMs themselves. But if you guys ever do go and see stuff in general, it's kind of nice to go and see. Like if you own the actual game, you're able, I believe legally you're able like to utilize the initial ROM. So if anything, some people don't like that. Some people don't want to emulate. Some people don't want to deal with that. Some people don't want to hold on to their old games. So making it accessible and available for online stuff is kind of the most important part. It's almost like surprising if for some odd reason Nintendo does not want to deal with that because, well, duh, like you can make money. I'm surprised you guys just don't want to make money. Like that's what you're supposed to do as a company, make money. Like let people go and buy these products and make money. So this kind of been actually, I think, the really big news all throughout the day too as well. We also saw Modern Vintage 2 on top as even have a chance to show and show this. Nintendo internally acknowledging easy flash cartridges makes this leak feel off to me though too. So I just want to go and let this all kind of know at the very tail end too as well, because some people are also saying and showcasing that it might also even be outsourced and all that such, mainly because it does seem a little bit on the weirder side seeing this in general. It could be fake, it could be a little bit more extrapolated, it also could just be a third party who had a chance to work with it, but all these initial leaks are looking pretty somewhat likely. Everything I've had a chance to see, all the information I've had a chance to see, all these tweets I've had a chance to dive on into, and although there is still like skepticism until we see a full-on proper announcement from Nintendo, there's also a lot of updates and system maintenances in the near future that they are working on as of like right this second. So interesting to see. We're seeing ROMs, we're seeing updates, and I guess we'll just have to kind of go and see whenever a Nintendo makes some official announcements. So we have a lot of stuff, as I mentioned, to go and cover, so I'll probably go and talk about this one. So cool news. Love to see this with the Nintendo Switch. Love to see big updates. Love to see big leaks. Love to see big information on all this stuff. and I just love having a chance to go and talk about it. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. Amazon links down below for the PS5 Digital Console controller, Twitter and Twitch stream as well, link down below, and sign up for that Weeble, sign up for their Claim Boys, and all that other various good stuff. And I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. Leave your thoughts and comments down below.